Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Pleasure to be here. Thank you very much to the organisers for setting up this lovely meeting. I'm going to take the chance at this rather sleepy moment of the afternoon to tell you a rather philosophical story. So apologies in advance for that. And the story is the tale of risks from AI scientists and where to find them. And first, I should clarify that by AI scientist, I mean autonomous AI agents capable of doing science, not the risks that you yourself might be responsible for in this room. Um, so, almost every evaluation of AI systems has the same critical and limiting assumption that we humans, as evaluators of the system, know what it is that we're looking for. Take the train test split in supervised learning, for example, the held out private information in ArcAGI, the objective function of summing the radii when alpha evolve is applied to circle packing. Even constitutional AI has epistemic certainty baked in the principles that specify the kinds of behavior that should be judged helpful or harmful. Um, but this limiting assumption is not particularly surprising, you might say. After all, we really do know what we're looking for a lot of the time. For instance, when we assess the capabilities of school children, we give them exams that can be graded according to a predefined rubric. Um, However, evaluation under epistemic certainty is not how we assess the capabilities of great scientists, inventors, musicians, and so forth. There was no predefined rubric that guided Marie Curie to discover radium or George Eliot to pen Middlemarch, for instance. Um, in fact, many creative works can't even be sort of judged by the rubrics of their day. So, Bach's music was neglected until Mendelssohn popularized it. So, cre- creativity, rubric-based evaluation of creativity is sort of at best inappropriate, at worst it's just downright wrong. Um, so, imagine the following case. Imagine you're at the start of your PhD and your supervisor says, "This morning I selected a bunch of questions which will be asked your Viva in 5 years' time. Good luck." Um, that would be rather absurd. So what can we do as an alternative to that? Well, I claim that rather than evaluation, what we need to do to recognize creativity is recognition. So the fruits of PhD students' labor can only be appreciated after they have been produced. So a viva is necessarily a process of recognition, not a process of evaluation. So now, if we accept that recognition is the right way to measure creativity, then we've got to accept something a little worrying: the inevitability of unexpected benefits, but also of unexpected harms. The archetypal example of unexpected benefits is, of course, up here. Alexander Fleming's discovery of penicillin may be closer to home. It's the remarkable effectiveness of GPUs for training machine learning systems. On the other hand, our obsession with asbestos as an all-purpose household and building material wasn't a very good choice. The use of CFCs as refrigerants, the rapid rise and rapid fall of DDT as an insecticide are all cautionary tales. So clearly, promising discovery plus incomplete knowledge can equal large-scale and long-lasting harm. And so this brings me to my main point. Herein lies most of the risk, I believe, from AI scientists. So let me recapitulate what I've said a little bit more specifically. In measuring the capabilities of AI scientists, we really don't know what we're looking for. In fact, it's worse than that. We can't know what we're looking for because, by definition, an AI scientist ought to venture out into the world of unknown unknowns. Otherwise, it's merely confirming knowledge that we already had. So, building evaluations for AI scientists is unlikely to help us understand either the harms or the benefits. Rather, we should be building systems for recognition of the harms and the benefits that AI scientists produce. Now that sounds like rather a sort of tall order, and I wanted to end on a helpful and a hopeful note at the end of my talk. So I think building a scalable recognition system is actually not an insurmountable one. And here's a little blueprint. Suppose first you had an oracle that could roll out all possible futures and could determine to what extent discovery led to downstream discoveries and applications that were recognized as net beneficial. Well, then you could simply consult the oracle. We don't have such an oracle. What should we do instead? Well, we're machine learning researchers, so we just build a system that makes predictions. So this is a scientific problem in its own right, and one that's ripe for investigation by AI scientists. And the idea is that moving the frame of reference to the meta level should dampen the possibility of meta level risks. So I'll leave you with an open question. How much of our computational resource should be channeled into recognition as opposed to discovery? And I'd love it if you came and talked to me about that question later. Thank you very much.